Good morning, my beloved. Good morning. Look at you all with your extra hour of sleep. Well, good morning and welcome to the First Unitarian Church of Pittsburgh. It is Sunday, November 3rd of 2024. I am the Reverend Dr. Kate R. Walker, and I am just so delighted and honored to serve as your minister of this beloved and wonderful community. I am a middle-aged, light-skinned female. My hair is mid-length, light brown. I wear glasses. And today I am wearing a purple blouse with a purple Nicaraguan design stole. You are all welcome here. If you are watching now on YouTube or in the future, you are welcome here. We are so glad that you've chosen to be amongst us in this beautiful autumn day. If you are brand new and you just joined us online or came in person for the very first time, a special shout out of an affirmation for your courage to show up at a new community, and we would love to be in touch with you. If you're on YouTube, please check us out on our website where you can find information about who we are. And sign up for our newsletter. The form is on the bottom of the main page. Send us an email. Let us know what you're looking for. And if you're here in person, just check in with the visitor's desk in our garden lobby. And we hope you stick around afterward for a wonderful social hour downstairs where we have a brand new art show up. We're very delighted to be hosting that. We are a community, a multi-faith religious community where all are welcome, diversity is celebrated, questions are expected, and answers are then questioned. We are growing, we're loving, and we're learning together. But most of all, you are welcome and you are loved. We have a lot of things going on today and through this week. Right after service from 12 to 12:45, you are welcome to join me for a discussion about our theme of the month, which is science and religion. And you will find me down in the priestly room at the end of the hallway of our Mason wing. That's again 12 to 12:45 for a discussion about our theme of the month. On Tuesday, take a breath. Tuesday, you are welcome to come and join us between 7 and 9 p.m. We are gathering in the Schweitzer room for respite from the election. We'll have social time with puzzles and games and distraction, and our sanctuary will be open for quiet time and prayers. And when the results on the election are finally announced, I will, as soon as possible, open up our building for you to come and join in community, and we will be together with whatever those results are. I will notify you through Breeze to our members and friends. Next Sunday before church at 9 a.m. is our monthly forum. We have Professor Antar Al-Azab, who's from the School of Materials Engineering at Purdue in West Lafayette, Indiana. And he is going to be speaking on prospects for controlled nuclear fission as a green power technology. So should be quite interesting. And I want to welcome now my friend and my United Church of Christ colleague, Reverend David Girth, who works for Gamaliel, who is the partner organization that PIN is a part of. And David is in town as we are pushing for Get Out the Vote, and he's going to tell you about one more opportunity to do something with your anxiety.
Good morning. It's really good to be here. I have to say, this space evokes several other churches that are deep in my heart, and this oak is exactly like St. John's United Church of Christ, where I'm missing worship this morning, and so it's good to feel the space and the people are very welcoming and connect me to lots of different places. I really do want to say thank you on behalf of our Gamaliel network, 14 states, made up of congregations like yours, and that you are one of the anchor congregations here for PIN, and so many of you have committed yourselves in so many different ways already to key leadership and participation. There's a scripture in the Christian Bible that suggests that God watches the lilies in the field and the birds in the trees, and they don't have anything to worry about, so what are we so worried about? I'm really trying very, very hard 2 days before the election to embody the carefree trust and faith of the lilies and the birds, but I'm not there. I was a month ago in Wisconsin in a contested state on contested turf, very purple turf, talking to people about closing one of the prisons and directing the money from that prison into investment in people. Today, we will be along the Mon Valley talking to voters about what's going on Tuesday, but in the long run, we're talking about the ways in which environmental racism and the Mon Valley sends more people into a very dangerous county jail than any other part of the region. The intersection of environmental racism and an unjust criminal legal system is actually what we're after in that place. So you can see there's a lot to be concerned about in this contested place for Tuesday, but the work is through Tuesday, not until Tuesday. This afternoon, we'll be doing both, working toward Tuesday and beyond. We'll be meeting at 2 o'clock at the Mennonite Church. And if you have not been out talking to voters, we'll get you ready. We'll pair you up with someone there's a bunch of people in here who have been out. You can go with a friend, and by the end of the day, feel very confident. I'll give you a quick example. Yesterday, I was talking to a woman in the same neighborhood, and she said, yeah, I don't know, I'm thinking about voting, but we had a real conversation about life in the community and why the election is important to me. And then she began to say, okay, I think I've got to work in the afternoon, I can get over there. And that conversation moved her from, well, I don't know, maybe, to actually imagining what to do. That's the kind of thing we'll be doing today, and I hope a bunch of you can join in and feel like maybe we don't have to worry so much because of our faith and because of our relationships with each other. Thanks very much for inviting me into this space. It's great to be with you all today.
Again, that's at 2 o'clock, and it'll go till 5 o'clock, and then there's going to be a press conference with the Interfaith Religious Network? Yes, close, okay. They're doing a bus tour, and I am one of the speakers representing this community and PIN, so I hope you can join us. We're looking forward to having a good turnout for that. And I will be there. If that's a lure, great. Whatever it takes to get everybody out there in this world. I invite you to take a deep breath and arrive in body and spirit in this space, this sanctuary of community, of love, and welcome, and activism, and beauty. Imagine ourselves connected to one another, Unitarian Universalists, United Church of Christ, all of our faiths, the synagogues and mosques that are meeting throughout this weekend, all people of faith seeking a world where we can find a deepened love and connection. We turn to our chalice lighting now. This symbol of our faith as Unitarian Universalists. As we light this flame, may it burn bright in our hearts as we imagine a world where both science and religion, where faith and reason find themselves in an intricate dance of appreciation and celebration. Welcome, welcome to you all. I invite you to stand as you're able and willing, and number 128, for all that is our life.
Well, hi, I'm Ward Kelsey. I'm a volunteer calling for, sorry, wrong script. I want to say briefly, I am Ward Kelsey. I am the liturgist today. I'm about 6 feet tall. I'm light colored with practically no hair left anymore. That's the result of spending many years as the treasurer of this august congregation. Anyway, I would ask you now to please read with me our grounding words, which are printed in your order of service. We name our collective recommitment to care for the earth, knowing the ground we live upon is sacred. We pledge to bring new life to the earth, new life to the air, new life to the waters, new life to each other, for all life is sacred.
I'm wondering if the children, I think because of the nature of my story, you might want to stay with your family. Halloween was on Thursday, right? Did anybody go trick-or-treating? Yeah, I have another Halloween story for you. So let your parents hang on to you, okay? Yeah, let your parents hang on to you. Have you ever had an event in our life or something happen and you don't know the answer to a big question, and you just kind of have to sit with it and live with it? Yeah, that's one of these stories, okay? Yeah. There was a little boy. It was right after Halloween, kind of like today, went to bed, put the covers up to his chin and ready to settle in. And then he heard a voice coming from downstairs. I'm on the first step. Here I stand. I'm walking up the step with a potato in my hand. The little boy pulled the covers over his head. I'm on the first step. Here I stand. I'm walking up the stairs with the potato in my hand. That little boy started to quiver. I'm on the second step. Here I stand. I'm walking up the stairs with a potato in my hand. I'm on the third step. You with me? I'm on the third step. Here I stand. I'm walking up the stairs with a potato in my hand. I'm on the fourth step. Here I stand. I'm walking up the stairs with a potato in my hand. I'm on the fifth step. Here I stand. I'm walking up the stairs with a And so it went, and finally I'm in the hallway. Here I stand. I'm walking down the hall with a potato in my stand. I'm in your door. Here I stand. I'm walking in the door with a potato in my... Oh, that little boy was shaking something bad. Oh, what is going on? I'm by your bed. Here I stand. I'm standing at your bed with a... Take it. The little boy finally got his courage and looked up over the edge of the curb. There was nothing in the room. He looked down on the bed, and there was just one potato. That's actually the end of the story. Thank you, MR, for your potato. Sometimes we don't know why things happen, right? Sometimes we just get, boom. Oh, that came from the earth. Don't you think? It came from the earth, and then it got farmer, and then it went to MR, and MR brought it to me. Thank you, MR. Before there, it was, oh, golly. This could be a long conversation. Where'd the potato come from before it came from the earth? It was a seed. Yeah. Okay, for Erica, I'm turning this over to you. Okay, this is all yours. Where do potatoes really come from? But sometimes we just have to sit with mysteries. We're going to send our children out. 10:59. Thank you for playing with me.
Your life be as a song, sounding with the dawn to sing away the light and softly serenade the stars ever dancing circles in the night. May your life be as a song, sounding with the dawn to sing away the night and softly serenade the stars ever dancing circles in the night.
Thanks to your generosity, each month we share our plate with different organizations that you all have chosen. And last month was PIN, yay. And this month it is Community Food Bank. And I'm just delighted to welcome Steve Farrell representing that organization. There is a little bit of a bio on the back of our order of service. But I mostly wanted to say thank you for being here, Steve. And he's going to tell us all the wonderful things about the Community Food Bank.
Well, thank you so much, Kate, and thank you so much, everyone, for allowing me this opportunity to speak with you all here this morning. It really means a lot. So the mission of Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank is to leverage the power of community to achieve lasting solutions to hunger at its root causes. And what I really like about the mission of the food bank is it focusing on the power of community, and I think a really great example of the food bank's mission comes in the Share the Plate program that your church is doing for the month of November. If you donate to the Share the Plate fund, part of the funds will go to Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank. And with the food bank's bulk purchasing power, we're able to provide up to 3 meals for every $1 that's donated. And this is especially crucial during this time of year. You know, as you can imagine, as the temperature starts to drop, you would want to heat your house. Well, if you need to do that, then heating bills, will obviously have to increase, which puts a lot of our neighbors in really tough situations. So it's because of really great churches like the First Unitarian Church that we're able to make sure that no one goes to bed hungry. So once again, I just want to say thank you so much for allowing me this time to speak with you all here today, and thank you for turning hunger into hope. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Well, no jokes at this point. Our religious community is made up of volunteers and staff creating and hosting a variety of programming. We rely on your financial support, and in addition to the collection plate, you can donate by texting GIVE to 412-435-1050 and following the directions. Please check the end of your order of service for more directions. And I guess I should say, this will be my last crack at you guys, for goodness sakes, vote on Tuesday. And if you haven't already voted, make sure you know when you're going to vote and where you're going to vote, okay? So now I'll invite the ushers to come forward and we'll take up the collection.
Fearing that your ear was hollow, dying of life. Swallow how I hear you worry. You'd be another bird if there were time. But in your turning, 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 can you soar into the sublime? In the end, you can pretend. Though the door will open onto starless skies, you can write it all again. And I will take the dark with open eyes. I will neither win nor lose. I am on the ground, I won't forget. But I can walk in my own shoes. And I can drink the wine of my regrets. In the twilight restive swallow, watch you fly from height to height. So afraid your day was hollow. You race against the dying of light.
Grace. Thank you, Ellen. In case you didn't see the notes, this is one of her original compositions. Work in progress. That's how very Ellen. So many sorrows and concerns, and I just want to, for a moment, name and recognize that we are each carrying a great deal of concern for our country right now. And just one of the reasons why I'm so delighted to see you is that it helps ease our concerns when we're together. And we can start to feel one another's energy and sing together and pray together and just be one with one another. We do also have some joys in our lives, and it's so important to name that, Linda Fleming and Bob Mitchell welcomed their first grandchild, Gaia, that was with their son Alex and daughter-in-law Jen. So welcome to the world, Gaia. The proud grandparents have been in Boston for a while, and I'm hoping they come back. We miss them very much. Also, that our own beloved Kathy Parker, former member who moved to the East Coast to be with her family in Maryland, was just released this week after 3 weeks of kind of arduous health issues and physical therapy, and she's home and doing much better. So we're very grateful for that. I also want to send our thoughts and prayers to Reverend Stephanie Gannon and her husband Mark. Stephanie's father-in-law died on September 1st. His name was Bill Fallon, and our hearts with them. And Stephanie was on the East Coast for quite a while and didn't notify me until just this past week. So for all of those joys and for all of the sorrows and concerns that remain silent within the sanctuary of our hearts, please remember that none of us journey alone. We are here with one another, both in spoken and unspoken, heartfelt ways. I want to invite members of the pastoral care team to come together for our annual naming of those of our family and friends who have died in the past year.
Thank you. Hello, I am Chris Baregi, a member of your pastoral care team. Today, in observance of All Souls Day, November 2nd, we commemorate First Unitarian Church of Pittsburgh members and family and friends of members who died since All Souls Day 2023. As I pronounce each name, Pastoral Care Team co-chairs Jim Cunningham and Kathy Miller will place a flower in a vase on the chalice table. May our sacred honoring of these loved ones comfort our still grieving hearts. May our memory of them continue to flourish, animating their positive influence in our lives and world. We remember fondly the following beloved church members: Sally Ferguson, who died November 3rd, 2023. Kay Didditz, who died on November 24th, 2023. Muriel Weeks, November 27th, 2023. Marty Lieb, husband of Alice Lieb, who died December 11th, 2023. Paul Cox, husband of Susan Cox, who died March 10th, 2024. Elizabeth Betsy Bell Martin, who died April 13th, 2024. Richard Oswant, who died May 14th, 2024. Sylvia Elizabeth Floyd, June 25th, 2024. And Whitney Granger, husband of Mary Redford, August 10th, 2024. We acknowledge the following deceased family members and friends of fellow congregants with whom we abide through their grief and healing process. Mike Litt, brother of Barbara Litt, November 20th, 2023. Elaine DeKikis, sister-in-law of Amy DeKikis, November 21st, 2023. Robert Vossmeyer, brother of Amy DeKikis, December 9th, 2023. Jeffrey Landerman, brother of Reverend Robin Zucker Landerman, December 23rd, 2023. Julius Schwartz, father of Rob Schwartz, January 2nd, 2024. Mary Oviet, sister of Pat Albrecht, January 10th, 2024. Rita Gorman Judy, mother of Mark Gorman, mother-in-law of Reverend Kate Walker, January 14th, 2024. Reverend Stephen Protzman, minister of Kent, Ohio Unitarian Universalist Church, January 29th, 2024. Beryl Celeste Vate, mother of Tracy Saffron, February 20th, 2024. Robert Masterson, father of Rob Masterson, April 11th, 2024. Carolyn A.V. Johnson, cousin of Jim Cunningham, May 22nd, 2024. Alex Tamsula, friend of Ellen Goshen, August 26th, 2024. Bill Fallon, father-in-law of Reverend Stephanie Gannon, September 1st, 2024. Mary Rita Grossweg Mengata, mother of Mary Pat Mengato, September 6th, 2024. Michael J. Mulla, brother of Betsy Mulla, September 8th, 2024. James Smullen, brother-in-law of Rob Schwartz, October 8th, 2024. And Reverend Joan Sabatino, executive director of UU Justice PA, October 17th, 2024. If there is another who should be included in our remembrance this morning, whom we have not mentioned, I invite you to speak it now, silently or aloud, right where you are.
I invite you into a few moments of silent prayer and meditation. Spirit of life, fill our hearts. Help ease our sorrow and grief as we remember our beloved family and friends and members of this community. We are filled with the loss in our life, yet we also hold so many beautiful memories of laughter and food shared, of trips and phone calls and emails, and all those moments that fill the lives of a beloved community. Spirit of love, fill us with the essence of these memories that make up the web of life. Remind us of all the best that we are and that we have learned from one another, those gone and still present. May we here and now recommit ourselves to living the life that is precious and holy. May the God of many names, who has been with us throughout the ages, in both times of sorrow and joy, be with us now. May the Spirit of life, the holiness of life, the divinity that we each carry within us, fill our bodies and shine for all to see. Let us be that guiding light as we travel through these days to come. Let our compassion, let our commitment to justice for all, may our deep, deep celebration of life and love be seen. May we witness to this in all we do and say. Blessed be, and amen. I invite you to stay seated for 340, though gathered here to celebrate the words of our own member, Chris Michaels, who this week moved to Longwood, but is never far in our hearts.
All gathered here to celebrate, my spirit's burning low. Instead of serving, now I wait. The breath of worship's not too late. Relent, the embers glow. Lost is gone away, the parents watch refrained. At times I need not grieve and say, I have enough to bear today. Be near and help me mend. The stillness strips the masks away, exposes lonely hearts. Self-pity must not have its way. I'll live my life from day to day. Be near and the healing starts.
Have any of you ever believed in something, really believed in something, and you later found it to be untrue? Yeah, those of you who are not raising your hands, just wait. I once rented a house to a man I later found out was wanted by the FBI. You'll hear more about that in another sermon. Let me just say that he had a compelling story. It just wasn't his story. I had another near miss, or a look into the abyss of what it is to believe in something that is completely wrong. Back in 2002, somebody sent me in an email a link to a video about the conspiracy theory of 9/11, that the truthers accused the federal government of having conspired to create that awful, awful experience. It was powerfully presented and well edited and very emotionally evocative, and I could see myself slipping into the abyss of its misinformation and just outright lies. And I started to really ask questions about why. Why do people believe these things? And I want to reassure you, I have been through psychological testing. It's required as part of the fellowship process for Unitarian Universalists. I have a healthy, developed sense of cynicism. I'm very comfortable asking questions and probing for sources. That was actually part of my upbringing as a Unitarian Universalist and as a journalist in my prior career. But after watching that 9/11 video and all those truthers, I began to understand the compelling conspiracy stories and the tangled web of lies can be very, very intriguing for people. Our eager brains like narratives that fill in gaps that are created by emotionally driven questions. Even if the stories and the narratives we hear are bonkers, if they have an element of truth, we suddenly start saying, oh, this is all true. And then we start down that path of belief. There are plenty of studies that human brain is susceptible, that show that we can buy into unsubstantiated beliefs because we want to believe people. We want to believe people. And in part, it's a survival mechanism. Humanity has evolved on the premise of trust. We can't evolve without it. The alternative is mistrusting on a widespread level, and then we can engage in community. Think pack. If we don't trust our pack. So today, as we start a month of looking at science and religion, I'm looking about trust and misinformation and general gullibility, which we like to make fun of, but it's actually pretty important to our existence in life. And I think it's important as a religious institution to start asking these questions in particular, because as a religious institution that is founded upon in a market driven of unsubstantiated beliefs and myths, religion operates in this world. Just offer the virgin birth, then there's raising people from the dead, and I don't even need to go into whales and arks. There are a lot of really important, powerful myths and narratives that I think as a religious institution we need to unpack, and that includes Unitarian Universalists. And here we are priding ourselves as people who are of reason and science. And we're often dominated, particularly in the 20th century, by humanism. But we need to recognize the power of our brain to find stories and narratives very attractive. And why? Because we are right now in an era of fact-free lifestyles, are we not? Representing massive misinformation campaigns that are designed, ironically designed on solid science. That our brains can be manipulated to all sorts of ridiculous and dangerous beliefs. There are a lot of good books out there, articles and studies. You are welcome to unpack and explore them, but some of them I have to state I haven't read all of them, but they're conflicting, confusing, and possibly, again, ironically misleading. So those that I have digested, I offer as relevant to Unitarian Universalists. There are general agreement that there's two kinds of beliefs. There's facts and there's symbolic beliefs. When we get them confused, we get into a lot of trouble. Facts, gravity exists. Pews exist. Are you all comfortable? Good thing. The pews exist. Excellent. Our bodies need water, food on a regular basis. Love is crucial to our happiness and survival. Facts keep us in touch with reality, which is generally a good thing, because, and particularly when they're consistent and result in healthy behavior. Testing gravity, I don't recommend it. Getting vaccinated, I recommend it. There are symbolic beliefs. Symbolic beliefs serve social ends. They connect us to groups by identity, and they help inspire us, give us hope. They help ease our sorrows and our pain. They can be very helpful. Believe that cultivating gratitude makes us more happy. Generally, we believe that, and there's some evidence to support that. We also find that symbolic facts can be fun. Steelers fans are the most dedicated football in the United States. Oh, fact. We believe that to be true. Symbolic beliefs can be biased. Tall black people are good at basketball. Symbolic beliefs can be dangerous. Only a small, select people are going to heaven. The rest of us are not worthy. Symbolic beliefs are more complicated because there can be inconsistency, and we actually live with that. Christians take part in communion. They eat and drink the communion, blood and body of Christ, but they're not expecting what they're digesting to taste like blood and flesh, despite their beliefs. Excellent. Theists believe God won't harm them in their home. I'm pretty sure most of them take out insurance. The human mind is so capable at holding complexity and conflicting feelings in our little brains. And even though we don't like to be accused of being full of contradiction, yet here we are. It is our lovely little brains that can accept all this. Religious faith is complex and it's tricky, full of contradiction and complexity, particularly when it involves God, an image that frequently has costume changes. But humanists are not off the hook. Humanism and our faith in human imagination and our way to get out of jams in a pinch, well, it doesn't take a history buff to explain to us why that is equally very tricky. We adapt our beliefs to fit contradictions and inconvenient facts. What research has showed us is these symbolic beliefs, such as conspiracy theories. Now, I am in no way saying that religion is filled with conspiracy theories, but there are some interesting parallels. Religion does involve dominant narratives with a heavy reliance on hard-to-believe stories, but what research has shown is that people don't necessarily believe the stories. They believe in the stories. And it's a subtle but important difference. When you believe in the story, the belief represents something much bigger, something much deeper about how we view the world at large. Is this a safe world or unsafe world? It is a belief that we begin to develop at a very, very young age. And through that safety lens, conscious or unconscious, we filter all our beliefs. And this leads to how well do we trust and our level of gullibility. Sander van der Linden, he is a professor of social psychology, writes, people have a natural tendency to believe what they hear or read, which amounts to gullibility. It's actually measured on psychological studies. When we have a high trust level, we may be more gullible, perhaps. Unfortunately, misinformation, when we buy into it, can act like a virus on the brain. It replicates at an astonishing rate inside our little brain, and it undermines our memories. Oh, that's scary. And then we want to talk to people, and then we pass it on because we're looking for affirmation of these new events and symbolic beliefs. And then there it goes. Now we have Twitter, and we have Instagram, we have Facebook, and we have still the telephone. And we start to spread the misinformation because we're looking for affirmation. And then we dive in. So how do we become more trusting? How do we stop the virus? How do we start to mitigate our gullibility? And as I said, one thing that's really important to note is that we want to believe in people. We want to believe that others are speaking truth, and that's a good thing. That actually is a really good thing. It's how we survive. If we think everybody is lying, we're not going to last long in this world, and you probably wouldn't be here anyway, because obviously I can't be trusted. But there's good news. Fortunately, research is citing evidence that we have developed good toolkits of psychological adaptations for evaluating our sources. We can be vigilant in ensuring that the information we have has been tested in some way. We start to look at the sources of where it comes from. We ask questions rather than just accepting it on a platter and saying, I trust that person, therefore I trust that information. Ask questions. It's healthy. The other thing research has shown is inoculation helps. Inoculation to misinformation helps. Being exposed to misinformation, being exposed to conspiracy theories actually helps us recognize the patterns and the habitual nature of these, and encouraging us to practice asking questions. And so there are actually people out there on the internet that are helping inoculate us by pushing some of those stories in spaces where we wouldn't ordinarily see them. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but they're asking us to look to help less gullible. Religion as a primary social location and a holder of moral boundaries, I believe we bear a high level of responsibility, of ethical care for the truth market, seeing as we are one of the major marketers in the truth market. And as responsible religious community, we are not just powerless victims of mass market of misinformation. There is so much at stake right now with our democracy. We need to recognize that our larger social problems, and when we indulge in our own fear, when we indulge in mistrust, we indulge in our apathy, when we start to believe we don't have any power and we start to dive in despair, we become part of the problem. Because then we can no longer reach out and reconnect with one another. And then when we start to fall in despair, in disempowerment, that's ironically when we become the most vulnerable. When we start to have those emotional gaps and spiritual emptiness, when we find that we can't connect with ourselves and each other in that place where we find the divine, that's when we start to find misinformation and conspiracy theories so appealing. We're starting to look for explanations that nobody else can. So we need to protect the vulnerable. We need to strengthen our trust, maintain healthy levels of skepticism that's grounded in reason, but not be judgmental of emotion and spiritual questions. They have a great deal of weight and validity. In the next weeks and months, we are engaged right now in a crescendo moment in the U.S. history that was intentionally begun 4 years ago with a massive misinformation campaign that was launched intentionally to undermine our election system and our democracy, our ability to believe in the very system that we have been created when this country was first founded. We have to recognize that we play a role, not just in voting, but in countering misinformation and being the compassionate, loving voice. Because we recognize that all of us, any one of us, can fall into that trap of misinformation and outright lies. So let's avoid the worst beliefs about religion, which are judgment and condemnation. Let's instead focus on the greatest assets of what religion has to offer, compassion, which leads to forgiveness and understanding. Because the only way to pursue the most powerful beliefs that justice for all is liberation for all, is when we remember that we are founded on the very, very first value of our community. We are all worthy. We are all worthy of love, and that we are all fully valued. We are all celebrated. That is the line we cannot cross, ever. And even as people challenge our values, and even as people start to push our values and our lines about what is socially acceptable, that is the line that we as Unitarian Universalists, and I hope all of our interfaith community, holds to. We are all worthy, we are all loved, we are all celebrated. May we all engage in this belief throughout our days to come. Amen. Blessed be Ashe. I invite you to stand as you are able in body and spirit. One of my favorite hymns, Be Ours a Religion. It's 10:58, and it's gonna go through 3 times. You're gonna sing the first and third time. So first time sing, instrumental, and third time, first and third. I invite you to stay standing, if you wouldn't mind, for extinguishing the chalice flame. The words are found in our heart as well as in our program. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Go forth, my beloved, go forth into this world and shine. Shine in this world. Do not let your light be diminished, for that is how we save this world. One heart, one body, one soul at a time. And I can find some scientific evidence to support that if you want it. Go forth and return again in love. Thank you.